This
There you go.
is He Said, She Said, brought to you by the Urban Breakdown Podcast.
Number one, baby.
Hey, man, let me hear your mic.
Let's go.
Man, your mic is
She
off.
said, what did they say? He
Can't hear you,
said,
man.
she
You're
said, what
muted.
did they say?
I'm
He
muted?
said, she said, what did they say? He said, she said. Check out what they say.
That light right
What
there,
did
to
he
the right,
say?
to the
What
right.
did he
Wait, to
say?
the right. Wait, to the
What
right.
did she say? What did
light.
she say?
Oh, no,
What
I
did he
can't
say?
see
What
you.
did he say?
The light above your
What
head.
did she say? What did she say? Hey.
There you go.
Don't like my light, huh?
So your light's fine. I just don't like it for video. That's a computer. Hello, and welcome to another edition of He Said, She Said. Tonight's broadcast is based on the following. Well, forget that. We'll let Mercedes start it off with the introduction.
So, today's topic on our podcast will be dating in 2018. What is the motive? Is it still about love as it used to be? Is there a different motive? What are people really dating for in this generation? Odie?
I think it's kind of interesting that you brought this up because especially like tying into what we talked about recently with dating apps, I have never been so confused as to what a man wants. Like dating apps just seems to confuse things and muddy the waters a little bit more. Some days I think I want like the traditional companionship and I think I'm looking for my Mr. Right. And then other days I'm like, damn, I could just really use some dick right now. And then other days I'm just like, like maybe I just like somebody to have a plus one. Like I have a lot of girlfriends getting married right now. And when I say I'm genuinely happy for them, I am genuinely happy for them. However, the one thing that does make me anxious is like bringing plus ones to a wedding. Like, damn, I don't have like a permanent plus one, and it would be nice to have like a guy to go on a vacation with instead of just relying on girlfriends or like my mom to come as the plus one to a wedding. Like, like those things are okay, but that's not like my end game. Really, is to have a permanent plus one. That is one thing that has been consistent. I'm not. I know Mercedes, you were chomping down a little bit on some good eats before we started, and I know some women have said that they like to just go for a date, like be taken out to a nice meal and kind of be treated in that regard. But that's never been a motive for me. I'm just not that beat for a meal out. Like I don't understand why anybody would do that, but okay, to each your own.
Yeah, people definitely date for food nowadays. Just
It's
to
like,
go
what the
out and get a
fuck?
meal.
Like, who's doing that?
I'm
Apparently,
like,
people.
like in this generation, I'm like, my thing is I don't like wasting time. So when I date, I'm dating for consistency. I would like for that person to be my end all be all so that I don't have to start over again. Now, granted, not every relationship works out that way. I don't know about you, but I'm single and sometimes you have to start over. But at some point, for me, even after you go through and try to find your Mr. Right or your Mrs. Right or whomever, at some point you want to find someone that's not just a plus one. He's a plus one consistently. Someone that's going to be there, maybe even live under the same roof one day, get married one day, do other things. The way I value the institution of marriage is a little bit different. So, but you got to get past the modern day dating before you can even think about marriage nowadays. It's a total different ball game out there. It's like marriage is like, it seems like it's like so far fetched. It's like a needle in a haystack. The haystack is the dating and all the different guys, and then your husband's at the bottom, stuck in the ground. It's hard. Dating is actually a very hard thing.
That same old analogy of kissing different frogs. I mean, it's what it is. I just, and when I say permanent plus one, like I think those things like all encompass what our plus one is going to be. I don't want a plus one who's good with my girlfriends, like go to weddings with, but I can't bring to work, like corporate events. And like the other plus, I don't want to have multiple plus ones and like on some she's got to have it shit, like different men to juggle in order to like make one whole one. I want a whole one. So that's what I mean by like permanent plus one. Like I want him to be my everything, to be able to be diverse and able to go to all these different places. So ideally that would work. I think kind of where I fuck up is being a little too critical. It's like if you do one thing that I deem a deal breaker, then it's like I don't want to be bothered anymore. And I don't
You
know if
don't
I'm
give
shooting
second
myself in the.
chances.
I mean, I'm quick to cut them off. Like because I overthink things, and it's like, oh well, if he's selfish in this way, then he's not going to be a good husband, or he's not going to be a good partner. Like, what else does that lead to? And so, like, I connect too many dots, and that probably hurts me to some extent. But I'm looking. I'm not going to stop looking just because. But that's my angle. I just want a good plus one.
What and Van, we know that you're married, but what is your angle on? Like, if you had to get back out here at any point, what's your perspective? Don't come back out here. We're swimming in water up in here. The sea is here. You know, we're drowning out here as single people.
Listen, when I was dating my wife, when we started dating, I had maybe 4 or 5 other females that I was juggling while I was juggling my wife. But lo and behold, I say a man knows when he wants to marry somebody. A man knows who his wife's going to be. That's just a guy. I don't know about a woman, but a man knows, because when I met my wife, 2.5 weeks later, I cut every single female off that I was dating. So
what about her?
Like, when it comes to these jokers nowadays, when it comes to everybody nowadays, they don't know how to distinguish what's good and what's bad, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Because they deal with the drug dealer, but then they see a dude that's doing good, and oh, he's too nice. Maybe it's generational, because it's been like this for a very, very long time. Like, the bad dude, oh, I want to date him, and oh, maybe I can change him. But then see this good brother down here doing what he need to do, taking care of his business, got an account, working, pushing towards an objective, and no, he too nice, I can't deal with him, he too bougie, or something like that. You know what I'm saying? So when it comes to, like, my personal opinion is a woman changes a man doesn't change a woman.
A woman is who she's going to be when you meet her. I think most women, like, whether we be the caregiver, the homebody, or whatever we already are when you meet us, we are what we're going to be consistently. It's the man who might have to, like, oh, he was a player, it's time for me to settle down, I think I found my queen, normally. But honestly, I feel like just in general, people in general don't change, they adapt. So with that being said, it's more like women, we don't have to change as much because we are just who we are. I think men have a more of like a playground, you know, getting to that point where they know who they want to be with. You guys have so many options, you know, so many women, and then we outnumber you guys anyway. Worldwide, we outnumber you guys.
I know that I had to, I know I'm personally, I can be a pure D asshole when I feel like it. Just pure asshole. And I had to tweak my asshole for my wife.
Yeah.
So now my wife knows, like, when it comes to like certain things like customer service people and stuff like that, my wife knows I can turn my asshole off, like turn on, like, oh, you can talk to my husband, and it'll go on them. And so I can vent, so I can get somebody else instead of getting my wife. So
it's kind of interesting that you say that, though. Like, I was thinking about, well, 2 things that you said that I want to address, just about, or actually Mercedes said it, just about when, like, first of all, if anybody believes or reads the Bible, we all know the saying of when a man finds a wife, it's a good thing. But I've always said this, that if I made 2018's resolution to say I'm going to find a husband, the odds of me actually going out and finding a husband would be slim compared to a man who says, oh, in 2018, I'm going to find a wife. Like, a woman's always going to be, for the right man, always going to be ready to go to the next stage of things. And that's what I don't understand. It just seems like...
I got to disagree with you. I got you. The reason why I say that is because when I met my wife, I wasn't looking for a wife.
But listen to what I'm saying, though. If you put your mind to it and you said, I want to, I'm like, obviously that wouldn't apply to you. But if a man said, I'm going to get married tomorrow, or in the next 6 months, or the next year, I want to find a wife. Mm-hmm. He could easily get a woman could go and be a great woman and be eligible and all, like, be wifely, ineligible in that regard and still not find a husband. It's really on the man. So it's like I can't say what the men are looking for, but I know what they're not looking for.
Well, I think it's because the man, he's the hunter anyway. Normally the man is the one who, like for example, and it was a good analogy, like sperm and egg. The sperm goes to find the egg. It's just how it works. It's not, I don't think it's meant for us to do that. Back to like another topic that me and a couple of my friends had, like women proposing. Is that normal? Is that natural?
Jesus Christ.
I think there are just some things that men are, they're here to do, and we have to just let them do that. And finding the wife and us not going out to find a husband, that's why it's kind of unnatural. Me, I know a lot of people call me crazy because I believe in polyamory and all this other kind of stuff. But when it comes down to that, traditionally, I'd much rather my husband come to me. I'd much rather him find me. I'd much rather him propose to me. And it has nothing to do with, I'm all for that strong woman and independent female, and I can do this and do that, and I can conquer everything a man can. I'm fine with that on certain things. But when it comes to my man choosing me, I don't want to push him. I don't want to nag him. I don't want to beg him. I don't want to put him in a situation where he has to propose to me. If you want to marry me, do that.
I could only imagine that shit just would go left anyway. Like the first argument of our relationship is gonna sound like, like I ain't want to marry you, and you know what I'm saying? I ain't want to marry your ass anyway. Like if you wouldn't have begged me or you wouldn't have gotten pregnant, nigga, I wouldn't even be here. I don't have time for none of that. So I already know that I'm not gonna set myself up in that position. But the other thing, just going back real quick to what Van said about like your wife being not like somebody to check you, but just understanding like your strengths and things like that. Did y'all hear the show that happened in DC? What's the DJ's name? Did you guys see that? Oh fuck, I can't remember the DJ's name. But the bottom line is, there was one of his co-hosts on this radio show is a married woman, and she had like recently been like looking for a nanny, and she goes back and tells her also married co-host, the man, like, hey, I'm not gonna hire this girl because I think she's too pretty, and I would never like bring this girl into my house. That's not the crazy part. The crazy part is that they bring the nanny that she did not hire onto the show without her knowledge or consent. And basically, like, the girl confronts her, like, oh, like, why would you not hire me just because of my looks, blah, blah, blah. And of course, the co-host who did not hire her felt attacked and betrayed. And she quit, like, right there on the air. And the wife of the DJ, of the man DJ, calls in and basically cusses his ass out. And is like, I mean, he was, like, really defensive and just, like, talking shit to her, like, oh, I don't know why you would feel that way, and we told you that this was gonna happen. But when his wife got on the phone, his whole demeanor, his whole shit changed. And she was like, I would cuss your ass out too, and I would punch you in the face if you did X, Y, and Z. You know, I don't blame her. And she like really stuck up for the female co-host, which I just thought was interesting because it made me think.
I mean, that goes back to insecurity.
Like, well, I don't know, like, to me, that wasn't what I was focusing on, but yeah, that could probably be a whole episode in and of itself. But I just think it's interesting that when you have the right partner, you know what strengths to play off of, and you know when to tone it down, and like who's in the right, like, or who, not who wears the pants, but who's more affirmed.
Mine is always happy wife, happy life.
Well, see, that's another thing. That concept, I don't think is fair.
Why?
Because you guys deserve to be happy too. You shouldn't have to always conform to what the woman wants just to keep a smile on her face. She should be able to conform to what you want just as much to keep you happy, because that means you're settling, and that's not fair. It's not. I don't care. If I tell you, I want you to take out the trash, I want you to paint, I want you to do this, I want you to do that, I want you to fuck me a certain type of way, I want you to do so many things for me. What am I bringing to the table for you? What is Mercedes going to do for you as a spouse on the other side? Because once you're meeting all these needs of mine, you're drained at the end. Happy wife, happy life sounds pretty nice as long as hubby is happy as hell too, and you're meeting every last one of his needs. It's 100-100, not 50-50. happy wife, happy life is not a fair.
Oh, well, shit, if that's how you feel, let me get down on my one knee right now. I want to say that shit, to be honest.
I'm just being real. That's how I feel. When anyone says it, I'm like, no. The wife and the husband should be happy equally. It's not something where it's a 75-25 thing or even a 50-50 thing. It's 100-100. You 100% get in return what you give to keep each other happy, whether it's sexually, financially, and everything else. I don't want to be happy knowing that he's doing everything for me and possibly miserable when he lays in the bed beside me at night because maybe I didn't give him oral when he wanted, or maybe I didn't cook his favorite dinner. Maybe I didn't do something. No, I'm going to make sure, hey, you know what? Hubby likes steak and potatoes with his thick ass. Let me make him that today because he damn wants it. He did everything else for me. He went and picked up clothes for the kids this week because I asked him to. Well, let me do something for him. Let me rub his feet. You guys will rub our feet, rub our back. When do we do the same thing for you? And yes, that makes me happy to have my back rubbed while I'm eating my favorite food. Duh. But you guys deserve the same thing.
Van has no objections. He gonna like just play that one little part back for his wife. Okay, got it.
She don't kick about the house.
Nah, she ain't gonna kick Van out. I don't think
she
so.
seems like she's very well rounded, but most women be like, damn, what you telling me that for? But yeah. But it's just only fair. Men, the thing is, you got to remember the husbands are human too. They deserve everything that we deserve.
So I mean, but how do we get there though? It just seems like we've arrived before we have taken the journey. I don't understand how to get there. Like as somebody, I was reading a book and they were saying that women tend to think in terms of like, okay, like formulaic, like in a formulaic way. Like if I do this, then I get that. If I do this, then this happens. So it's like love just does not happen that way. And if your end game is love, like how do you get there? Like what does that look like? Like what I feel like it's supposed to just happen organically. Like you're just supposed to know. And that kind of goes back to what Van was saying. It's well, at least for me, I've never been personally attracted to the bad boy. I always knew that they weren't gonna be shit. I never liked them. Like when I was young, and of course as an adult, I definitely stay away. However, I have known plenty of
bad boy.
I've known plenty of sir, no. So I've known plenty of like quote unquote good guys though, who look great on paper, but there's just no chemistry there. It's not that I'm like away from him because he's not a bad boy, or it's just like, but you're so blah. And I've talked to a coworker about this too. She said the same thing. She said that she had a very like nice date or nice couple of dates with this guy, but he was just boring and not engaging, and it just didn't click for whatever reason. Doesn't mean that he's a bad guy.
I've been different. I've noticed that the ones who aren't the bad guys, they're not the drug dealers. They're the ones who dress nice, probably work at a call center and drive a Camaro. I was some hoes, but they're the ones that are more so out there. They do more. They look clean on the outside, but their mentality and their personality isn't the same. Back to that whole, one person being happy, like one person's happiness, like for example, for the analogy I'm trying to make right now, but like you meet the one that looks good on the outside. He isn't the bad boy. He isn't the drug dealer. He ain't from the hood. He ain't the thug or whatever. But yet he's happy out here bouncing between these women, and he wants to make a makeshift relationship with you. Well, you're happy doing that. What about my needs? I want you to be faithful. I want you to do this. I want you to do that. Who's to say you can't get what you're missing from a bad boy? He doesn't necessarily have to have sell drugs to be a bad boy. He could have gotten into some trouble growing up. He could have been, a lot of things. And maybe he just needs that woman to, conform him to be a little bit, less rugged around the edges.
I don't know if I necessarily painted like a picture of what a bad boy is. I'm definitely associating it with some sort of like criminal activity. When I say bad boy, I don't know what he looks like, but I do know I don't have time for projects either.
I don't have time to go sit in jail and visit nobody talking about some ride or die. I ain't got time.
I don't have time. Yeah, it's like a project. Like, okay, like if you are feeling me, you should show me that you changed. I should not have to be like somehow feeling like, oh, I can be your motivation to change. Like, you should change for yourself, because at the end of the day, I'm not going to be here forever. And so you need to learn how to function for your own success. But
that's why I said people don't change, they adapt. They just adapt to whatever situation may be. He might like, oh, well, she's looking for a good guy type, and I'm a bad boy type, so I'm dress differently, carry myself a little bit differently. But he might be on the back end still hanging in the hood behind your back with his homeboys around activity that he shouldn't. But he can't. That's not him being himself. That's back to that one person being happy with the situation. It's not fair. If he's a bad boy and that's what he wants to be, fine. He just may not be for you. What are you, individual? Just as a woman who's looking for that bad boy, trying to change him. Don't change him. Find the type of guy that you want. They're like, again, I guess life is so short, and I know that I'm going to be exactly who I am. So I don't want to try to change anybody. I'm going to either accept you for exactly who and what you are. There are little things that you can ask somebody to change, like maybe, let me teach you how to, not spend money so much, and just little things like that. But actual personality, you can't change that. Once he's this bad boy, or even the good looking guy on the outside, but the hoe in the background, he's going to be exactly who he is. He's not going to change. He's going to conform just long enough to get you to believe that he's what you've been looking for.
I don't know. Well, listen, I was not even wasn't. Yeah, I was a bad dude. I really can say I was, because I've done the gangbanging. I've been locked up before. I did the drug dealer thing. Done that. And I just grew up. Yeah. It's just bottom line. I just grew up. And my wife knows I don't take shit from nobody. That's not going to happen. I still will carry a gun. And if you get out of line, I'm going to show you when you're going to move on. I'm still that guy. But it's just a tweak. That's all it is. You know what I'm saying? Like, when they call people an OG, that jokers like me, they turn into OGs because we know how to conform our anger and our bad boyness, if you want to call it. You know what I'm saying? So we know what to do. Like, we know when to not get in trouble, when to lay a nigga out, and when not to lay him out. You know what I'm saying? We know
it's about control. It's all about control.
It's a control issue, you know what I'm saying? So jokers grow up, turn into OGs. OGs is always the ones that's like, nah, I'm good.
I mean, yeah, I think we all change when we get old. Like I would, like I said, like I'm, back to the whole like polyamory thing. By the time I'm gonna want to do this anyway, my kids are gonna be out of the house and graduating and stuff like that. So it's like that change would be different for me. I would be, doing that differently than I am here now. Matter of fact, I was having a conversation with this in a group of mine, like a little Snapchat group that we got going, and that change is actually still typically what I want now. I just can't do it because of my situation. Like I said, I wouldn't really be changing or asking my partner for anything different. I'd just be able to do it and actually accept it as my lifestyle once I've raised my children. It's nothing that I want to hide my children from or anything like that. And it's just a choice. Many people may not be into it, which I totally get. And it's hard to find a partner that is into it. So it'll be me finally getting to do what I want to do in my 30s when my kids have graduated respectfully. So it's not changing. I'm just, meeting a goal or getting to a goal that I wanted.
See, like a few weeks ago, when it comes to like dating in general, a few weeks ago I was having a conversation with my niece. And my niece is part of this like bubble generation that just doesn't get it. And she's dating this kid that is kind of reminds me of myself, but he's a little bit different because he's got, like she said, that she seen him hanging around a bunch of dudes, like maybe it's, I don't know, hanging around a bunch of guys, and one of those like dudes was a transsexual. So I don't get this generation in general when it comes to them and wanting to be with somebody, because like I said, maybe it's a generational thing. It's where they go around in laps and go around in circles and still go back to the same exact thing that they see when they see their mom or dating somebody, or when they see their dad dating this person. So my personal opinion is I think it's just a generational circle and they're just doing it different.
Yeah. And like I said, just getting to know someone nowadays, just period. It's definitely different. It's like I watched my mom date growing up and it was totally different. Like they handle things differently than we do.
I do have a question though, Van. I mean, while you are not in the dating pool, you're still dating. So I do want to know what the end game looks like for you and your wife. Like, are you guys working on proactively dating
Date?
each other? Like, do you have date nights? Or I watched this really cute video actually of a couple earlier, and it was like an advertisement. I forgot what the show was called, but they basically their date night consisted of making a pizza at home. Like they went to the grocery store, picked out all the ingredients that they wanted for their pizza, and then they proceeded to go out to like a fancy pizza restaurant to compare their pizza that they made at home, and then decide which one was the better date. So it
Well,
was like a 2-for-1 thing. So I was just wondering, like, but what your
I'm a spontaneous kind of individual. I do outlandish shit. You know what I'm saying, I like the skydiving. We've done indoor skydiving. I want to go whitewater rafting, like real extreme crazy shit that she's not used to doing. That's the shit that I like to do. But we're gonna be getting rid of this little monster here and sending her to her grandparents, and we're gonna have a whole maybe like a month of just me and her. So we don't know what we're gonna do, but we're gonna be doing something. Like I seen some stuff that's in Arizona that I kind of dig. Like there's a pool in Arizona that's just pure.
yeah, the falls. I saw that. That shit is a long ass hike.
I ain't worried about a hike. My wife is
I'm good.
worried about the hike and not me. But that's something I want to do. I also I want to go get my jumping equipment so I can go jump out of a plane again.
If you had to like put some sort of like stock or a percentage to how important dating your spouse contributes to the success of your relationship, how much, like what number would you put on that? 20%, 30%,
35,
5%, 35%. Okay.
35% on the importance of dating in a marriage.
Yeah.
Dating in a marriage. Yeah.
You got to. Because if you don't date your
But I feel like 35. That's a small number. Like I feel like dating when you're married also
dating,
because I've been married before
and then there's
too.
the other parts of dating.
That's what I'm saying. There's
It's
okay, yeah. I'm just saying. I think that's a small number. I feel like when you're married, I've been married before, and it was like the things that I wanted to do. I felt like would have been like almost like 80% of what a relationship should have been. Of course, I was married to a hoe, so whatever. But it's like I didn't get to do half of what I wanted to do. The sexual part wasn't even, an enjoyment after a while because we weren't dating. We weren't doing anything like to keep the whole situation alive. We were just coexisting. And that's when the 35% is, we only got 35%. I don't want to get 35%. I want more.
I don't know who this dude was, but you said he was a hoe. That means he wasn't done with his hoeing ways.
Yeah, I also would be curious to know though, like what your wife would say though, like how much stock she get back to us on that, because I would love to know what she thinks. Because you're in the same relationship, so it's comparing like actual apples to apples. Like it'd be really interesting to see, like, yeah, what her perspective.
As a woman, I think dating while married,
I think we put
everything fresh,
more numbers on it. I think we would.
Yeah, I think we would.
I can't say
80% to me.
And
then 80% comes with whether it be sex, doing spontaneous things, going places, spending time together. That other little 20% are the maintenance things like paying bills and taking care of the kids and all this stuff. That's outside the dating. For us to maintain this marriage.
I'm not a scheduling type of individual. You know what I'm saying? If I see something like that's where I'm going.
Okay, Blue, you've been kind of quiet over there. What's your perspective of dating nowadays?
You all right?
I don't know what to say about that. I mean, because, I'm a little older now. I would be dating for a purpose, but I don't know. I don't really have an opinion. I'm asexual.
Okay. Every time he says that. Okay. Well, so.
In my practice, I find that people date for a number of reasons. I would say mainly for sex or to fulfill a want or a need or something. I know females that do it for financial security food or entertainment. I know dudes that do it to relieve boredom or sex. You know what I'm saying? I might have been that dude at one time. Now to relieve boredom, I eat Krispy Kreme donuts or Chick-fil-A cookies. You dig what I'm saying?
Okay, asexual.
When it's all said and done, though, I mean, I just don't think that people are where they're supposed to be or where they should be. But then again, who were we to say that that's what the case is? Because society morphs and it changes, and it seems like we're getting away from what used to be core values, and values are redefined over time. The things that are accepted now were not accepted 10, 20 years ago. Homosexuality was a mental health disorder in the DSM-3. We're now on the DSM-5. So we're talking about 2 modifications of the DSM book in which homosexuality was defined as a mental health symptom or diagnosis, a severe one at that. And now it's just like hunky-dory. You can see two cats kissing each other right here in the lounge right now, or 2 ladies sitting right here talking about how invested they are in their marriage and loving up and showing all kind of PDA. Even when I was in a relationship, it would rarely ever see me show PDA unless I was like head crazy, head over heels, or just drunk as fuck when I used to drink, but I don't drink anymore.
Let me ask you this, Blue. I was going to ask you like what you would do though if you caught on or suspected that a woman was dating you solely for the purpose of getting a meal. Like would you keep treating her like in the efforts that she would just eventually fall in love with you, or would you be like, look, would you call her on her shit? Like what would happen? Like what does that look like?
Hold on. No, I ain't a big ass nigga. 1, 2. No, I would not. You only get so many dates before I get the plate. You dig what I'm saying? West Coast, Compton for life, full city. No, that's fine. I mean, I don't know. I mean, you get a feel if you're really in tune with yourself and you're in tune to what the other person is. You know, looking at their body movements, the way they talk. You know what's what from what. You don't need to be 3-4 days.
I don't know. Let's say you're on the date and you find out. I'm just putting you in a completely hypothetical situation.
Second date?
Is
I know
date 2
the man just by my experience of the man of the person. You know what I'm saying?
It's date 2, and she's like, and you ask her, hey, what do you like about me? What have you liked about spending time with me so far? And then she says, I really enjoy eating out with you. Like honest, rude as fuck, but honest. And then what does Blue do in that situation? I'm just curious.
First, I appreciate that. Honesty is so rare in this day and time. This broadcast brought to you by Subway, who has amazing happy meals every day of the week. A new sandwich every day of the week. Feature sandwich $3.50 per day. Different sandwich every day of the week. $3.50 at Subway. You get these cookies for $1.19. Anyway, like I was saying.
Oh my God.
You ain't gonna do shit but keep sitting there eating like you're eating that damn cookie. That's why you talking heavy, but I think you would still keep eating the meal. I'm really
I got to be the asshole. I got to be.
And I pay that for conversation. I pay for a meal for conversation. I love conversation. I love sitting in front of somebody and just absorbing their essence. It all depends. I don't know.
I got to be the asshole. I got to be.
That's the best thing you can do for me. I love it.
Listen,
what are you going to do, man?
Listen, if I was in the dating world and somebody said that shit to me, all right, fool. As long as I'm feeding you, can I go fuck you?
What?
Get that ass.
If I'm feeding you, I'm fucking. I'm sorry. Said that to me. If somebody said like that, if somebody said that out loud to me, if I'm feeding you, we gotta go. Listen, I'm gonna be like a sugar daddy when you gonna give me that ass.
Oh shit! Damn.
Oh, if I get this out,
Blue lost himself with that.
That might be some last meals, I guess. I don't know, but
Blue lost himself with that.
Listen, if I was in the dating game, I'll be rude about everything because I don't need to be nice.
That's true, because a lot of people out here dating aren't nice. They do use people for food. They do use people for financial gain. They do use people for sex. So if I know that you're using me to feed you,
Well, it's the same thing. Just like a lady be like, if I know you're feeding me to fuck me, no. I mean, it's whatever.
You know what? That relationship would last a lot longer if everybody was honest. Hey, I want you to feed me. Hey, I want you to fuck me. Everybody's full.
Yeah. Honesty is the best gift you can give me.
And
consistent honesty, because then I have to throw in that word consistent. That is my number one challenge. Just I'm not getting a lot of consistency out here. You get guys that say I'm outgoing. My favorite are honestly the ones that say you got to have a passport ready to rock with me, but then I ask you about like your last vacation and you tell me it was like Charlotte for CIAA. I'm like, but we live in Raleigh. Like that's cute, but that's not like, that's hardly a vacation or like travel. And like in your last few trips or something like that.
the last guy I was dating, I asked him to get a passport. I was like, if you could please get a passport, we're going somewhere. Now it didn't last long enough to get where I think the passport came after we broke up. That's how short it was.
Damn.
Oh God. No, it was it was probably about 3 or 4 months, but
I just
whatever.
mean the shit is not matching like what they think they are. It's not matching the reality, and that's very frustrating.
Sometimes people they put forward what they want to be or how they want to be, and they want to manifest that in that relationship, and maybe it just don't pan out.
No. I need you to be self-aware of like who you are, what your actual strengths are, what your actual weaknesses are, not where you want to be. And my permanent +1 will know this, so we'll see.
Yeah. That's right, she will.
He will. Don't play me. Not
Blue basically just said
not that there's anything wrong with liking the females, but that is not how I roll.
No, I just tell you, you're gonna get that more from a female than you are a male, is all I'm saying. I mean, not for the most part. I mean, what you want is kind of rare in this day and time, just based on what we call microwave pussy. You know what I'm saying?
What Blue basically said is that after all this time being single, you're gonna find out you're lesbian. That's what he said. He's so ridiculous. Gosh.
I say that. Look, don't put words in my mouth. You can put something else in my mouth, but don't put no words in my mouth. You dig?
I don't pay his ass no mind.
He's like, you're gonna figure it out. No, but I mean, there's nothing wrong with if that is what it came to. But at the same time, regardless of what gender, dating is hard. That's why I have stuck with the same person. I met him a year ago in July. Almost a year ago in July. I said a year ago, like it's July. So July is coming up in about 4 months.
But
yeah, it's just one of those things where. Yeah, I got a trip to the Dominican Republic in July. I cannot wait. I'm so hyped. But yes, I wish it was July too. But it's
Vacation Bay.
It's time to like. I don't know. After we get past that 1 year point, I don't know what it's going to be or what's going to happen. I guess it progressively, without saying it, becomes something. That's another thing with dating. When do you ask, what is it? That's a hard one too. Like, what are we doing?
Communication should be so on point that you just know when you know. You know what I know? Compton for life. City.
That sounds nice, but I don't know. At some point, you got to know that you're not wasting your time. Now, granted, I don't ask. I never have. I don't want to. But at some point, you got to know, well, when are we, like, are we going to go from dating and just be like this weird dating period for like 3 years and all of a sudden you drop to your knee and propose to me? So when were we boyfriend and girlfriend? Now we're just all of a sudden engaged and about to be husband and wife. I think there has to be like
dating and don't have a clear definition of where you are after 3 years. That's a problem.
Yeah. Well, it's like, I guess, I don't know, without asking.
Even since June 2017, that's a problem. Watch out now. I'm gonna see you next week.
And that concludes another episode of He Said, She Said. Oh God.
That don't conclude this episode. Odie, what you got?
No, I was creeping out the conversation. I felt like I was like, creeping in on a conversation I'm not supposed to see.
Don't worry, Blue, he gonna get it when I see him.
That's the plan.
I know. That's what I was gonna say. You are right into that, but No, that's all I got. At the end of the day, my end goal, because one thing I can be consistent about is just a permanent +1, somebody that does not get on my nerves after 2 weeks of knowing him. Just a permanent +1 that's very pleasant to be around more often than not. That's my end goal.
What are you working on to get that happening?
What am I working on to get that happening?
Yeah.
I'm going to like the meetups and paying attention to what's going on in the group me's and the YAT group, which is the Young Africans of the Triangle. Shout out to Ghana having their 61st Independence Day this week. But, you know, I'm sociable, but I might have to relocate. But that'll be something to be determined after I finish school. I think it's the city, not necessarily me, per se. But we'll see.
Okay. All right. Final words, Mercedes.
Don't be out here dating for ridiculous reasons. Don't waste time. That's my biggest pet peeve. That's kind of more like a tip versus a final word. So don't do it.
There you go. Van, any words for the people?
Nah, I'm straight.
All right, and that concludes another episode of He Said, She Said under the umbrella of the Urban Breakdown. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the Urban Breakdown featuring hit shows such as He Said, She Said, 360 Degrees, Politics, and Black Man's Perspective. We look forward to talking to you again soon. We look forward to possibly having you on one of these broadcasts. Until the next time, peace out.
You're not my GPS. 2 steps to the left is west. Dollars in the front, head north. Spin right to the east and dirty south is where I'm from. I like to do what I do. I like to make moves without you. I like to control my own. If I need further direction, I call Tom Tom. We've known each other for so long. It used to be the one I could call on. Time after time you did me wrong. Forgave and forgave, but still got played. Sick and tired of your same old selfish ways. And I leave and you still wanna navigate. It's so crazy how you think you can run my marathon. It was nice to know you, let me show you. Move forward and pass the baton. I know a route to take. Please don't even fix your face. Just say yay or nay. Gonna do what I wanna, regardless anyway. You're not my GPS. 2 steps to the left is west. Dollars in the front, head north. Spin right to the east and dirty south is where I'm from. I like to do what I do. I like to make moves without you. I like to control my own. If I need further direction, I call Tom Tom. Do you miss the late nights? My fresh scent, candlelight, or how I knew just what you like. Been a minute since you've been on cloud nine. The memories got you going crazy. Thought of another man with your lady. And you should never get too jealous to the slums of the earth. How you treating me? I know a route to take. Please don't even fix your face. Just say yay or nay. Gonna do what I wanna, regardless anyway. You're not my GPS. 2 steps to the left is west. Dollars in the front, head north. Spin right to the east and dirty south is where I'm from. I like to do what I do. I like to make moves without you. I like further direction, I call Tom Tom. I know what route to take. Please don't even fix your face to say yay or nay. I know what route to take. Please don't even fix your face to say yay or nay. Gonna do what I wanna, regardless anyway. You're not my GPS. 2 steps to the left is west. Dollars in the front, head north. Spin right to the east and dirty south is where I'm from. I like to do what I do. I like to make moves without you. I like to control my own. If I need further direction, I call Tom Tom. You're not my GPS. 2 steps to the left is west. Dollars in the front, head north. Spin right to the east and dirty south is where I'm from. I like to do what I do. I like to make moves without you. I like to control my own. If I need further direction, I call Tom Tom. You're not my GPS. 2 steps to the left is west. Dollars in the front, head north. Spin right to the east and dirty south is where I'm from. I like to do what I do. I like to make moves without you. I like to control my own. If I need further direction, I call Tom Tom.